I just spent $240 on olive oil at Walmart, Costco, and Trader Joe's. 12 different brands. Every single one of them has extra virgin printed on the front. But before this video is over, you'll learn why 8 of these bottles do not match the premium price you are paying at checkout, and how the oil inside this bottle might not even come from Europe at all. Olive oil prices in the United States have hit an all-time high. Global droughts and supply chain shocks have driven the cost of a standard bottle up by nearly 50% over the last 2 years. Because it's expensive, major brands have turned their labels into a masterclass of marketing psychology. They use terms like first cold-pressed, product of Italy, packed in Spain. Look at the imagery. Sun-drenched olive groves, rustic Italian villas, family seals dating back to the 19th century. You pass up the $4 vegetable oil. You skip the $8 light olive oil. You reach for the $19 extra virgin bottle. You pay the premium because you expect 2 things: the highest health benefits and 100% purity. But in the American grocery market, extra virgin is often just a marketing word. And the gap between what you think you are buying and what is actually inside that glass is expanding. Let's start with the biggest deception on the American shelf: geography. If you look at the front of 8 out of 10 major supermarket olive oils, you will see the word Italy prominently displayed. Look closer at the back label. You will see a string of 2-letter country codes: TN for Tunisia, MA for Morocco, TR for Turkey, ES for Spain. Quote, product of Italy, or packed in Italy. Under federal law enforced by U.S. Customs and the FDA, packed in Italy does not mean the olives were grown there. It does not even mean the oil was pressed there. It means a massive industrial tanker ship loaded with cheap, low-grade oil from Tunisia, Morocco, or Turkey arrived at an Italian port. The oil was pumped into tanks, blended, put into a bottle, and stamped with an Italian flag. Look closer at the back label. You will see a string of 2-letter country codes: TN for Tunisia, MA for Morocco, TR for Turkey, ES for Spain. You are paying top dollar for Italian heritage, but you are getting a global supply chain cocktail. Except the origin is only half the problem. The real breakdown happens inside the lab. To find out what is actually on our shelves, independent food scientists have run large-scale testing on American supermarket brands. The most famous benchmark study came out of the University of California, Davis. Researchers bought dozens of bottles of extra virgin olive oil from local supermarkets and ran them through chemical and sensory testing. The result? 69% of the imported samples failed to meet the baseline standards for true extra virgin olive oil. 69%, a staggering failure rate for imported supermarket brands. The reasons were clear. Some bottles were adulterated with cheap canola or soybean oil. But the majority failed because the oil was old, oxidized, and degraded. True extra virgin olive oil is fresh, squeezed juice. It is highly sensitive to light, heat, and time. By the time these global blends sit on a cargo ship, wait in a hot warehouse, and sit under bright supermarket fluorescent lights for months, the health compounds, the polyphenols that protect your heart, have completely evaporated. Technically, it was extra virgin when it left the press months ago. But by the time it hits your cart in 2026, it is lampante oil, the lowest commercial grade, fit only for cooking at low temperatures without any health benefits. And that famous trick you heard about online to test your oil at home? It doesn't work anymore. If you search the internet for how to check your olive oil, you will find the fridge test. The theory is simple. True extra virgin olive oil contains high amounts of monounsaturated fats. When you put it in the fridge for 24 hours, it should solidify and turn cloudy. If it stays liquid, the internet says it's fake, cut with cheap seed oils. It is a great internet myth. But major commercial oil blenders know exactly how to beat it. Industrial producers use a process called winterization. They intentionally chill the oil and filter out the elements that solidify at higher temperatures. They do this so the oil stays crystal clear on cold delivery trucks. This means a highly refined, low-grade oil cut with canola can pass the fridge test perfectly, and a high-quality, authentic olive oil that has been slightly winterized might fail it. The fridge test gives you false security. The blenders have engineered their way around it. So how do you bypass the loopholes and find the real 4 bottles? Here is the blueprint to ensure you never get ripped off in the oil aisle again. Stop reading the poetry on the front of the bottle. Look for these 3 specific trust signals. Signal number 1, the harvest date. Authentic olive oil producers proudly stamp the exact month and year the olives were pressed. If the bottle only has a best by date, skip it. A best by date can be set 2 years after the oil was packaged, even if the oil sat in a tank for years before that. You want oil from the most recent harvest season. Signal number 2, third-party certification logos. Do not trust the brand's self-made stamp. Look for the COOC seal for California oils, the EVA seal, or the NAOOA quality loop. These groups run random lab testing on retail shelves to confirm purity. Signal number 3, packaging. True extra virgin olive oil is never sold in clear plastic bottles. Light destroys the oil within weeks. Real producers protect their product using dark amber glass, dark green glass, or metal tins. If your $19 bottle is sitting in a clear plastic container with no harvest date and no third-party seal, you are paying a premium price for a cheap blend. You do not need to buy your olive oil from a boutique shop in Italy to get the real thing. Today's ledger entry: 3 things to remember before your next grocery trip. 1. Product of Italy means it was bottled there, not grown there. Check the tiny back label for the actual country codes. 2. The fridge test is useless. Commercial winterization allows fake and degraded oils to pass easily. 3. Look for a specific harvest date within the last 12 months, packed in dark glass, with a third-party seal like COOC or NAOOA. That's what's really in your cart. Next week, I analyzed every single frozen item at Trader Joe's to find out why their fresh frozen meals contain double the sodium of standard brands. The source codes were surprising. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Comment below. Which food label do you want me to investigate next? See you next Tuesday.